Hi guys, today I've got for you the Genesis GV60. Very important car for Genesis, their first all-electric car, although they've introduced some more electrified only models to the range as well. This came out about a year ago. I've been waiting to give it a try. I'm on a media day today, so I haven't got a lot of time, so I'll put all the specs and everything on the screen. This actually is the entry-level model, starts from about £47,000 and they go up to about 64 for the Sport. This is the premium model. Now many of you will know that this is related to the Kia GV60 and also the Hyundai Ioniq 5. They're basically the same platform underneath, but this is a very different interpretation because Genesis obviously is a luxury arm of Hyundai. So keen to give this a go. We will take a look around, we will look at the boot space, the interior comfort, and of course we'll take it for a drive. One thing I gotta say about this particular car, especially compared to its cousins from Kia and Hyundai, is that the interesting thing about the Kia and the Hyundai is that when you encounter them in person, they actually look a lot bigger than they do in pictures. However, this one, down to its styling I guess, but it actually looks pretty much the way that you perceive it in the photos is pretty much how it looks in reality. It's about that size. So it's a sort of a medium-sized crossover SUV style vehicle, pretty much a family car. It looks to be very spacious, but it also looks to be extremely elegant and very luxurious. I love the way they've done the lines, reminiscent of how Hyundai have done this. Check out the wheels, what an extraordinary arrangement for the wheels there. And these headlight arrangements, I think it's the headlights actually that give it its look. But I mean, look at the crystal cube effect that there is in the headlights, which is quite something to behold in reality. I don't know if you can make it out on the camera, but they really do stand out. But overall, it's an impressive looking car and quite a handsome thing. So let's check out the boot. This is the key, and in fact, if I look, good looking key actually. If I press and hold this, then that actually opens up the boot, and as you can see, it opens up to reveal quite a large and spacious boot, although not quite as deep, although it's got a flat floor here, although under the floor it is of course a dual floor, but really there's compartments there for the cable, charging cables, tire mobility kit, so basically it's a tire repair kit, etc, etc. And then of course the floor itself can be removed if you need it to be, but other than that you've got the power supply. This is the power supply. It's just access point actually. Interesting. Then you've got a power supply there, you've got hooks there, and of course you have 60/40 split folding seats. So a reasonable amount of space for a car of this size. Right then, let's get into the GV60 premium model. Now, I've left it on, as you can see, because the seat does that thing where, you know, it moves back to let you in and out. So having said that, the seat is now in my driving position. I'm 6'2" with long legs, and as you can see, I can sit there and I can sit here, and I've got plenty of knee room, not a problem at all. Down there, feet space is slightly tight, as you can see, but it's manageable, it's not too bad. The floor is higher in this car, so my knees feel a little bit higher than they normally would, but of course, you know, that's how electric cars are because they've got the battery pack and the floor itself. I have to say that this is the entry-level model, right? But check it out. I mean, you know, this is the entry level. I mean, look at this luxury. Look at this quilted leather type seating, and then you've got armrests with the cup holders in there. Is that a slot? No, I think that's solid there. And then you've got your seat belts. It's good enough, I think, for 3 people just about to sit here. 2 people very comfortably. You've got your seat pocket there, but look at this arrangement. Look how nice that is, and it's textured. I can actually feel that. That's actually textured. And then you've got Bang & Olufsen sound system. Look at the design of the door handles. This is Alcantara type, I think. This is leather. There's also a door pocket big enough for a bottle. But you've also got these cup holders here. And then you've got electric window switch and locking, unlocking in the back, which is unusual. But actually, not a bad idea. And of course, I assume you can always lock the kids out if you need to. I mean, you can make sure that they're not tampering with the locks. You've got a vent here and a hook here. So that's quite handy. on both sides. It's on that side as well. But I gotta say, and then you've got buttons here. This is to move the passenger seat forward and back from here. So for example, if you're sitting in the back, if you're being chauffeured, for example, in this car, then you can actually control that, move it forward and give yourself a little bit more room. I have to say, it's very nice here. The roof slopes down. It's not too bad. Look at the split window at the back. I just saw that. That's interesting. It slopes down quite a bit, but it's not encroaching too much on my headspace. Yeah, it's a little bit tight if I lean right back. If I lean right back, my head is touching it. But normally you sit like this, don't you? So it's not too bad. But other than that, it's quite nice back here. What's it like in the front? Let's find out. Check this out. Wow. I tell you what, this is drama in here. This is amazing. Look at this. Look, I mean, just look at that. You know what this reminds me of? And as you know, I'm a huge Star Trek fan. But some of this design element down here, this is very retro futuristic. It's sort of like the original Star Trek series. You'd have these kind of things, you know, the round circles and the long beams and these kind of curved buttons here. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it has that kind of feel about it, retro-futuristic. There's your wing mirror control. You've got your memory seats down there, window buttons here, this lovely little round door handle thing. You've got your buttons here for park button is here, but I guess it's all automatic anyway. And your boot release as well down here as well, so you can control that from that. That's vents. You've got remote controls obviously on the steering and your drive mode there. We'll give that a try later on. Now, you see this. I mean, let me just show you around the cabin. There's two big screens here, massive platform there as well. Heads-up display, I guess, from looking at that. This is nice. This is textured again. Again, just the doors themselves are just beautiful. And then you've got, again, a curved, oh, this is kind of an oval, a tab. Oh, it's a drawer. Look at that. And then you get a box and stuff like that. So you get a drawer over here. That's quite nice. Plenty of room down here. These lovely quilted leather seats. Again, you've got your remotes. We'll come back to that. There's a pocket down there. There's a little compartment down here with power supply, USB-Cs, and a power supply there. And over here, you've got a cubby box, and then you've got your wireless charger here. So you put your phone there, and it gets it wirelessly charges it. Now, I've been holding off turning it on because the on button is there, and it does have an on button, because I want you to just witness this. So let me just turn that on there and watch this. Did you see that? That is that is the gear shifter. This is a rotary knob to control the menus and stuff like that. That's your home buttons, menu, stuff like that, cup holders. You got your camera, heated seats, cool seats, all the rest of it down here. But that's your gear selector. That's amazing. So, rear view mirror, you can now make out the split rear window from there. Again, look at this arrangement up here. Look at that. These are like sensors spying on you. I love this textured finish. It really does feel like ultra modern but old fashioned at the same time. I really like the way they've done this. Oh, and you've got paddle shifts as well, I've just noticed. I guess, what are they for? They must be for regen, I guess, for activating regen. So they're not really paddle shifts. Okay, cool. It's stunning. I think we've established that. And this is the entry-level model. So this is the one you start with. So let's give it a drive and see what it's like on the go. Okay, so here we are. We're in the eerily quiet. I mean, it's just my phone vibrating here. No, there's a slight resonance vibration from the console. But other than that, can't hear a thing. So eerily quiet. All straightforward. Indicators, as you would expect. Brake pedal, it's quite bitey actually, the brake pedal. It's quite good, quite reassuring. And nice ride so far. Just tried it on a few little roads there, and maybe a little bit nuggety, but nothing jarring, nothing harsh, but generally not too bad at all. Yeah, you can just pick up this road surface imperfections, that's for sure. But yeah, nothing really to complain about. So first impressions, just moving the car out of the car park and bringing it out onto the roads here, is that you know, you do become aware that it's not actually a small car. It's a reasonably sized car, but that's not to say that it's difficult in any way to manage or whatever, but you do become aware of its size, particularly when you're inside here. And you see there's quite a lot of space here as well. So again, you know, you're looking out for passengers and stuff, and you go, okay, yeah, there's a good amount of room. I'm in a decent sized family vehicle. But having said that, it feels quite manageable, and you can see the extremities at the front because you can see the way the fender curves in on both sides. So sometimes, like, you know, one side will dip out of view, but here it's pretty even and consistent across your visual viewpoint at the front here. So these ones are rear wheel drive only. They don't have the boost button. So the drive modes, let's have a look at what we've got here. We've got comfort, we've got sport, and we've got eco. Well, that's interesting. I'll tell you, something just happened there. Let me go. So I'm now in comfort. The seat is nice and relaxed. Right, I'm going into a black bar zone, and I'm going to put it into sport. And when I put it into sport, the seat grabs hold of you. It tightens. That's extraordinary. And oh, okay, wow. All right, so this is not the sport version. This is the basic version, but it happily accelerates. Let's slow down again, and we're in sports mode now. We'll just slow down. We've got a heads-up display, which is nice and clear out the front here, and I'm just going to slow down to about 30 and punch. Okay, all right, instant response, and it actually moves. The steering weight is quite nice. It's quite nicely weighted. Quite a bit of resistance off center, so you know, it gives you that. It does not feel at all, of course, but it gives you that sensation of being in something sporty. Now I don't know if that changed. Let me try and go back into comfort, and oh yeah, I think there is a difference actually. Yeah, the steering just feels less resistant, and if I go back into sport and the seats tighten up again, I think it's a very slight difference, but I think there is a difference. So let's see what these pedals do, and okay, so LV1, LV2, LV3, LV Max, I pedal on. Oh yeah, okay, so it's got one pedal mode as well. So you go into LV4 by using this pedal here, and then suddenly you don't need to use the brakes anymore because, you know, I don't know if it will come to a halt. I'm not on the kind of road where I can try that, but it certainly feels like you get instant deceleration once you do that, that's for sure. I gotta say, it's a really nice environment to be in. You know, it just looks fantastic here. And the thing is, it doesn't look so futuristic that it's off-putting. I don't know what that is. Don't know what it's doing there. I have no idea. It's alarmed about something. I'm not sure what. It's making a noise now, and I don't know why it's making a noise. I can't see any reason why. Unless it was trying to tell me about this. Is that what it was doing? Oh, I see. Is it? Oh, because there's another one up ahead. There's a camera there, and it started beeping as we were approaching the camera, and then it made a different noise at the camera, and then it started again because there's another one up ahead. Bizarrely, they've got two in a row here. So let's see if that's what this is. Let's see if that's what this beeping is all about, or the chiming. Really, it's more of a chime, really, isn't it? Ding dong, there's your camera. Ah, wow. I mean that's nice that it does that. It's nice that it gives you that warning, but that's a long warning up to the point of the camera. That's a fair amount of warning there. There must be a way of adjusting. Again, on the media drive, we haven't got a lot of time with the car, so I can't really explore the controls too much. Nice little display here for climate as well. I can see the seats, I can see all that, and it's all touch as well as controlling it with the knob down here as well. So it gives you that option, which is kind of nice. So I'm just turning around. I want to go back down the other road, and again, full 360 bird's eye camera, as well as reversing camera, as well as a front camera as well. So, and of course the sensors as well. So it's a car that really looks after you when you're doing that maneuvering. And there's a big old C-pillar there. This is quite a large C-pillar. So in that sense, when you look over your shoulder there, that's cutting out a lot of area, but having the cameras really helps. And of course you can actually, you know, if I hit this button, I can immediately, it gives me a camera straight away. So, you know, straight away I can get the camera if I want to. What was it showing me there actually? It's showing me button to camera view, park assist. Oh, it's got park assist as well, which I don't really want right now. So just checking it around a little bit and finding that actually it's very, very flat and manages, the body control is actually very, very good. And it just gives you quite a bit of reassurance, even, you know, with this two-wheel drive car. And it's, you know, maybe you could say slightly slippery conditions today, not too bad, but generally not bad at all. So now that we've had a drive in the regular GV60, it'd be rude not to try the Sport Edition, especially because it's bright yellow. It's got those cameras instead of mirrors, and it has a boost button which unleashes more horsepower for about 10 seconds. Let's find out what that feels like. Okay guys, so now we are in the GV60 Sport. This is the sportier version. It's bright yellow and it's got these. I wanted to just show you these mirrors before we set off, and look at that, it's just folded in. That's folding back out again, as you can actually see it happening. And I don't know if you can, okay, so if I do that, so you can turn it to select it. If I turn it, now I can actually adjust it, but you know, you can't like move your head or anything like that. Same goes for that one. There you go. So that'll be interesting to try. I'm not particularly a huge fan of those these mirrors. The rest of the car is pretty much, it's darker in here. The seat color, this is more sort of fabric. Yeah, fabric on here, a little bit in the middle there, but the design is the same. Everything else in the car is otherwise the same. We just have these fancy mirrors. Right, let's give this a go. So here we are in the Sport, and of course I've put it straight into sport mode because why not, you know, it's the Sport, right? And I've also put it into full regen, so I'll put it into one pedal mode because I quite like using the one pedal mode. I know some people find it a bit weird, but I quite like it. I don't think it quite comes to a complete halt in this car, but it sort of certainly starts to creep and stuff like that. Yeah, actually does come to a halt. It will stop. It will stop actually, but you just have to time it just right. So I guess with a bit of practice, you probably could do it without actually using the brake pedal at all. This one is obviously four-wheel drive. It's a little bit heavier as well, I would guess, because of that. You can feel that already in the ride a little bit. So just a little bit more transmission from the ground into this, but also I've got it into sports mode. Actually, let me put it back into comfort mode just for a minute and see. And then the seats do the same thing. They release immediately. Yeah, I mean, you're getting a little bit of transmission from the surface on this normal, you know, city road, urban road. And if I put it into sports mode, the throttle response jumps. That's one thing it does. It gets much more eager in this car, and the seat tightens up. The ride is probably about the same, so I don't see that there's too much difference there with the ride. Black bars on this road. Time to hit that boost button. Oh, sugar! Oh my God! Wow! Oh, that was 0 to 60 in no time at all. Oh, and I felt that, and the car kind of leapt. It felt like it was wanted to take off. It just like the whole body kind of lifted up. The front certainly lifted up, and literally just punched you in the back, and off you went. And I mean, even without, I mean, I don't think I'm still in boost mode, am I? Does it give you 10 seconds? Oh, it gives you a countdown, actually. It gives you a countdown. It tells you when you're going to run out of boost mode. That's fantastic. But even without, so 2 seconds, 1, 0, boost mode now gone. And oh my God, but it's still grippy and fast, you know. It's just the boost mode is just a little bit extra mental. It's just if you like it full mental, full craziness, then you hit the boost button. That's extraordinary. I can imagine you pulling out, you know, if you own this car and you want to overtake a bunch of cars, I can imagine you pulling out, hitting the boost button, 10 seconds to overtake everybody, and you would do it. You would actually do it in this thing. That's incredible. That just really feels extraordinary. So car tends to follow the road a little bit more on this one. So again, it's a little bit, again, it's in sports mode, so it's a little bit more fidgety. Actually, no, I put it back into comfort mode, haven't I? Yeah, it's in comfort mode. So let's put it back into sports mode. And steering, yeah, I think the steering definitely tightens up when you put these cars into sports mode. And these mirrors, again, I'm not a fan of these digital mirrors, and you know, you can see the light reflecting on that. It's hard to get a depth perspective is what I really find weird with these things to really understand, and you can't like move your head to see, you know, the blind spots as you can sometimes with normal mirrors. This is my issue with these type of things, but that one is a bit more clearer from here, and so that's all fine. It's interesting though that considering that they've put digital mirrors on the side, they haven't made that one digital. That's still a regular mirror. Everything else in the car feels exactly the same as the other ones. The heads-up display, all the rest of it. The seat, I found that the seat was a little bit when it's in sports mode, it does kind of get a little bit too tight, and after a while you're like, no, I've got to put it back into comfort. You do feel that a little bit with this car, but other than that, it's not really an issue. Well, amazing performance. Brakes are okay, not too bad. So turning, yeah, reasonably sharp, yeah, maybe a little bit too much there, and responsive enough, yeah, not too bad. Body stays flat, stays in control. We're on a tight road, but not an issue. Yeah, I mean, good response on the steering. Actually, I would say this is definitely more fun. If you're just looking for fun, I think this is definitely more fun. The Sport actually is a more fun car to drive. Somehow, don't know how, somehow it is. I guess just the extra grip, extra torque that it's got. It just, maybe the way the torque is distributed probably also helps. Eerily quiet. I would say this one actually even more quiet than the other one I tried. I think maybe there was perhaps a little bit of a trim issue with that one in the middle. There was just a little bit of a vibration going on right here in the center console, but this one's fine. So if you take one of these out, or if you buy one, always make sure that everything is good before you sign off on it. The other thing I found is that because of the fact that there's a knob here and then there's a gear lever here, now once you get used to it, obviously you know that the gear lever has these very deep indentations to basically select the gear, but sometimes I find I'm trying to use this one here, the knob that's actually for the screen, to change gear with, especially when I'm trying to do quick, 3-point turns and stuff like that. Yeah, the grip from this thing is absolutely extraordinary. Even like pulling out of a corner, and just whilst you're turning and putting your foot down, is it really sort of stays glued to the ground and delivers that performance. I mean, this is again that's in a corner and putting the power down, and it's absolutely solid. So yeah, definitely quite a speedy racing machine. With this one, I think cross country, point to point, undoubtedly the quicker car, simply from the fact that it's better able to put down its performance. So what do we think of the GV60 having driven both of the versions that are available? Well, I think that, the regular car is brilliant, and that's probably the one that you should get. If you're a bit crazy, then you should probably get this one, because the boost button is just a laugh. And so for that reason, if you want to spend, but it's a considerable amount of extra money that you'll be spending in order to do that. But, hey, it's, if you want that 10 seconds of laughing your head off, then why not, But other than that, I think the regular car is probably the one to go for. Great all-rounder, super luxurious, lots of kit, very comfortable, and again, according to the specs, I mean, we haven't been able to take it on a longer run, but according to the specs and stuff, reasonable range, and certainly good performance. There you go. That's what I think of the GV60. Thumbs up for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please hit the like button and share this video as well if you can. And while you're at it, check out these guys who also sponsor my content. I am deeply grateful to them because it helps me to buy new equipment, put fuel in the cars, and yes, buy a cup of coffee. You can do the same. Just go here or right here on YouTube. Just hit these 3 little dots down here and click on thanks. Make sure you're signed in first. My content is free, but this is how you can help me keep it that way. I may even send you a gift. Oh, by the way, watch this next.